Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video, I'm going to give my review of The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. Theo and Kit were childhood friends who became lovers. They had a bad breakup at the beginning of a tour they had booked together that was going to go through to a few European countries. They didn't complete the tour. They went back to the US. Because they canceled the reservations, they weren't able to get their money back, but they had 4 years to reschedule and go on the tour. And 4 years later, the time is running out, so what happened is they both booked the same tour, and much to both their surprise, they met up. Theo is a wine expert and Kit is a expert baker. I won't say what their sexual orientation is because it's not immediately apparent at the beginning of the book, but I will say that they're open to a wide variety of sexual partners. A big part of the book is descriptions and discussion of the food they eat and the wine they drink at the various tour stops. As I'm a pedestrian eater and I don't drink, I haven't drunk anything in several years, I'm hardly a gourmet and I don't really know wine. Even when I did drink, I only drank dry white wine. So the details of the food were tedious to me, and ultimately they became kind of boring. They decided to have a contest to see who could hook up with the most people, and this is a kind of contest I really don't think it's a good idea for various reasons. There are a good amount of graphic, spicy scenes in the book. They don't use crude language, and I have to admit the characters were kind of inventive in what they did. The author did a great job describing the locations they went to, the sites. They went to some places where there was impressive historical locations. Problem I had was that with all the food description, the place descriptions on top of it I didn't enjoy them as much as I could just because there was so much description in this book, but those parts were really well done. The food descriptions were well done, it's just not for me. There are a lot of great supporting characters, and I really like Theo and Kit. I wanted their relationship to succeed, and I love the ending of the book. The problem is that I found all the details about food and wine boring. There are just too many of them for me. I recommend this book to anyone who wants to read a good book where two characters try to reconnect after a bad breakup while they're on a tour of European countries. I would just say take into account the issues I mentioned, and if they're a problem with you, you may want to consider not getting the book. I think a lot of it depends on how much you enjoy reading about detailed descriptions of food. You might differ from me. It might not matter if you're familiar with the food, like I wasn't. You might enjoy it, just those descriptions. It's not the first book I had this issue with. It's just me, just the incompatibility. But overall, the book was worth reading. I rated it 3.25 stars. It was going to be a 3, bumped it up a little bit because I really liked the ending. This is the second book I read from Casey McQuiston. The first is I Kiss Your Wheeler, and it would be unfair to compare this book to that one because that was her only YA novel. I do have 2 other adult novels of hers, and I'm definitely going to read them. This is by no means a bad book, but there's just, as I said, an incompatibility with the book and me. I hope you're having a wonderful reading week. I hope you're having a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified of my future videos.